just landed another incredible endorsement. This time it's with...
What if I told you that an injured rookie, a player who hasn't even touched the court in months, just outsold some of the biggest names in NBA history? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what Caitlin Clark just did. She didn't do it with a shoe deal. She didn't do it with a jersey drop. She did it with something so unexpected, it flipped the internet upside down. A cup. Yes, a water bottle. But this wasn't just any random endorsement deal. This was a cultural earthquake. Caitlin Clark, fresh into her pro career, has already stepped into a lane so powerful it left entire industries scrambling to catch up. Think about it. Michael Jordan had the Jumpman logo. LeBron James built a billion-dollar sneaker empire. And Caitlin Clark? She just turned a Stanley Cup into the most sought-after product in America. And here's the part that makes it even more mind-blowing. She pulled this off while injured. Most athletes vanish from headlines when they can't play. Their relevance fades until they're back on the court. Clark? She's rewriting the rulebook. She doesn't need highlight reels to dominate. She just needs her name, her brand, and one perfectly timed partnership. This isn't about points or box scores anymore. This is about power, the kind of power that goes beyond the game. The kind of power that turns everyday products into cultural gold. Because when Caitlin Clark teamed up with Stanley, something happened that no one saw coming. A simple water bottle became the ultimate status symbol. And once those first pictures dropped, the frenzy began. It didn't take a massive ad campaign. No polished Super Bowl commercial. No celebrity-packed launch party. All it took was one photo shoot. Caitlin Clark, standing in fever colors, holding a Stanley Cup like it was a championship trophy. That single image was enough to light the internet on fire. Within minutes, Twitter feeds were flooded with screenshots. TikTok edits popped up faster than anyone could count. Fan pages started breaking down every detail. The colorway, the design, even the exact angle she was holding the cup. Resale groups, normally obsessed with sneakers and electronics, were suddenly buzzing about water bottles. Not even official yet, and people were already treating Clark's Stanley collab like it was the next Yeezy drop. And here's the wildest part. The cups weren't even for sale yet. They didn't exist on shelves. But buyers were panicking like they'd already missed the launch. Pre-resale prices were floating around in Discord groups. Fans were DMing each other strategies on how to secure Clark's edition the second it went live. That's not just product hype. That's cultural dominance in real time. It's one thing for a superstar to sell out their own jersey. It's another thing entirely to make people obsess over a lifestyle item that has nothing to do with the court. That's when you know this is bigger than basketball.
And to land deals is, legendary. And not to mention, she still got to deal with Gatorade as well. So for her to land this Stanley deal is just, I know a lot of people talk about her agent not being there for her agent doing all these things. I got to give it to her agent, bro. Now, granted, would Caitlin Clark be getting these deals if she didn't have her agent? Probably. But
Caitlin Clark isn't just selling a cup. She's selling the feeling of being part of something bigger. But to really understand how this spiraled into the frenzy it became, you need to know one thing. Stanley was already a monster. And Clark? She just turned that fire into an explosion. Stanley wasn't just another brand before Clark came along. These cups were already a lifestyle. People were literally lining up outside Target for pastel color drops. Entire online groups existed just to trade or resell limited cups for triple-digit prices. And this wasn't sneakers or luxury handbags. We're talking drinkware. Somehow, Stanley had turned hydration into a flex. So when you combine that kind of pre-existing hype with Caitlin Clark, the single most marketable athlete in women's sports, what do you get? A perfect storm. A brand that was already hot, colliding with a cultural phenomenon. Suddenly, a cup wasn't just a cup anymore. It was Caitlin Clark's cup, and that's when things got truly unstoppable. Here's the part a lot of people overlook. This deal didn't just fall out of the sky. Clark's agent has been stacking wins for months. Gatorade, Nike, Wilson, all of it building momentum. But the Stanley timing? That was genius. Think about it. Clark isn't even on the court right now. Most athletes disappear from headlines when they're injured. Clark? She's everywhere. Instead of fading, her brand is expanding. That's not an accident. That's careful planning, flawless timing, and yes, a little bit of genius from the team around her. And of course, With every success story like this, you already know what happens next. Cue the haters. It's just a cup. She doesn't deserve this. She hasn't even won anything yet. Same tired arguments, different day. But here's the irony. If another WNBA player had landed this exact same deal, critics would be calling it groundbreaking. The only reason they dismiss it is because it's Clark. But guess what? Sales receipts don't lie. Stanley's site traffic spiked by double digits after Clark's collab teaser dropped. Pre-orders exploded. Shelves emptied out. And resale markets? They went wild. People yelling overhyped from their keyboards don't change the reality that Stanley is making more money than ever before, all because Caitlin Clark's face is on the cup. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you see the numbers. Stanley was already pulling in billions annually. That's not small change. But Clark's collab created a surge they hadn't seen before. We're talking site traffic doubling overnight. Pre-orders maxed out in hours. Even generic Stanley stock started vanishing because fans assumed Clark's line would be limited too. That's called the Taylor Swift effect. Scarcity meets hype meets absolute chaos. It's the kind of frenzy you can't manufacture, unless, apparently, you're Caitlin Clark. She can do it with one Instagram drop. But here's where it gets even bigger. This isn't just about selling cups. This is about rewriting the rulebook for athlete endorsements. For decades, sneakers were the crown jewel. Jordan had the Jumpman. Kobe had Mambas. LeBron had his own empire. Sneakers weren't just products. They were cultural landmarks. That was the standard. Clark just changed the rules. She didn't need a shoe to prove her pull. She made water bottles the new must-have. And here's the genius in it. Not everyone needs sneakers, but everyone needs hydration. Clark and Stanley tapped into something bigger than sports. They tapped into everyday life. She proved that an athlete endorsement doesn't have to live inside the arena. It can live in classrooms, offices, gyms, kitchens, everywhere. That's not just influence. That's dominance. And the ripple effects? They stretch way beyond just Clark herself. Every time Clark trends, so does the WNBA. That's the reality. When she sells out Stanley Cups, the Indiana Fever's name goes viral. The league's visibility grows. Networks invest more. Sponsors write bigger checks. Whether her rivals like it or not, Clark's success lifts everything around her. But let's be real, not everyone in the league is happy about it. Players like Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Angel Reese, all stars with their own endorsements, don't see the same lifestyle crossover. Wilson has her Nike shoe. Sabrina has her line. Reese has Reebok. But are any of them selling $40 cups to moms in Iowa and college kids in Boston? No, that lane belongs to Clark. And that's why brands keep lining up. Stanley's biggest customers? Suburban moms and college students. Clark's biggest fans? Suburban moms and college students. This wasn't random. This was perfect targeting. The overlap is almost surgical. Moms who cheered her through Iowa. Students who buy her Fever jersey. Families who pack arenas to see her. All of them already lived in Stanley's demographic. The partnership wasn't a gamble, it was a guaranteed jackpot. And when the numbers started rolling in, they proved exactly that. Here's where it gets scary. If Caitlin Clark can make a water bottle trendy, what can't she sell? Furniture? Fashion? Tech? Don't laugh. Those brands are watching. And you better believe they're taking notes. The WNBA has an off-season, but endorsements? They never stop. With Stanley, Clark found a way to exist in kitchens, gyms, and classrooms every single day of the year. Fans don't just cheer for her when she drops 30 points. They drink from her cup every morning. That's permanent integration into daily life. That's empire building. And if her signature shoe drops in 2026 the way people expect, that's global. That's billionaire territory, which is exactly why her critics keep moving the goalposts. First, they said she wouldn't sell out arenas. She did. Then they said she wouldn't get endorsements. She stacked them. Then they said she couldn't sell lifestyle products. Now Stanley can't keep cups in stock. The excuses keep changing because the reality doesn't. Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own. She isn't just playing basketball anymore. She's redefining what it means to be an athlete in the modern world. And here's the thought I'll leave you with. If Caitlin Clark can turn a water bottle into a cultural frenzy while injured, what happens the moment she steps back on the court? Because at that point, we might be talking about the most influential athlete of this generation.